Hello everyone, we are now live. Welcome to this special election coverage of the Swedish elections which are happening tonight. So we will have the first exit polls coming in here at about 10 minutes time. So I decided I'll start this live stream a little early. We have the full results coming in, the preliminary results coming in at about between 10 and 11 p.m. So that is about 2 or 3 hours time. So it goes quite quick. And I'll just check a quick couple of settings here that everything is all right. See if you can hear me correctly. There we go. See if my mic is plugged in. I think it is. Let me know if it sounds all right for you guys. All right. Yes, in 10 minutes time, the polls will close, and we will get the first exit polls are expected to come out in about 10 minutes time. So this is going to be very interesting. It's in my opinion, it's a historic election. Either Sweden is going to continue in the same path it has been doing the last couple of years, and I think, as we all know, that hasn't been going too well. Or they can turn the ship around and hopefully save Sweden for, like Sweden used to be. But it's far from certain that it will go the right way, though, because even if the Swedish Democrats win, the way the Swedish system is set up is that they need to have more than 50% of the vote. Otherwise, the other parties are going to form a coalition and basically keep them from power. So it doesn't seem very democratic, but it's very interesting. My gut feeling, my guess, and also the betting companies as well, think that the Swedish Democrats will become the biggest political party after the election. So Sweden is probably going the way of Italy, Poland, Hungary in terms of politics. Voting for populist right-wing parties. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see the results come in. Now, let's. I'm just gonna check if anything is updated. Yes, we have some first figures that have come in. This is not a official poll. This is an exit poll, I believe. Let me just see if that's come in here. We have some figures coming in here from a poll that has been done by the channel TV4 in Sweden. It puts, let me see, it's not completely in yet. We have some of the figures coming in. It puts the Swedish Democrats at 16.3%. And the moderate party at 18.4%. If that is true, the Swedish Democrats will be the third biggest party. I'm just trying to find out the exact figures here. I have lots of tabs open here, trying to figure out exactly which figures are the correct and which ones are not. So bear with me. I don't think this is actually an exit poll. I believe it's just. Well, I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to find out. So bear with me, guys. But we have some figures coming in. Let me just find out for you. I was expecting the first exit polls at 8, so I don't. This is not the exit poll. This is some, what should we say, early figures. So we shouldn't take this. We should take this with a grain of salt. Let me see if I can find out anything more. Let me see. Here we have, okay, yes. We have, according to the channel TV4, which seems to be a exit poll. Yes, it is. It is. No, it is a poll. It's just a normal poll. It's not an exit poll. It's just a normal poll. Sorry, guys. It's just a normal poll that has been done on election day that has now come out. And it gives the Socialist Democrats 25.4%. Let me bring up on screen so you guys can see for yourselves. Let me see. Here we go. So we have the Socialist Democrats at 25.4, and we have the moderates at 18.4, and the Swedish Democrats at 16.3. So that is quite interesting. But that is a poll. That is not an exit poll. That's just a normal poll that came out on election day today. If this is true, it will mean the Socialist Democrats are doing their worst election in 100 years at 25.4%, which is really bad for them. Usually they, like 10, 15, 20 years ago, they were up at 40% in that kind of area. Little surprised there at the Swedish Democrats only getting 16.3. I am expecting them to do quite a bit better than that when the real election results come in, because they have been polling much higher recently in other polls, even so high as 30%. So that seemed strangely low for me. So that is the first poll, a normal poll that has been done on election day. About 5,000. It's based on about 4,000, 2,000 telephone interviews and 2,000 anonymous web interviews. So that's that. But still, we are waiting the official exit polls coming in about 4 minutes time. So, all right. Let's talk about. I see some of you guys in the chat are asking what I voted for. I have voted in the Swedish election. As you know, I am in Norway currently myself. As you can see in the beautiful mountains out the window, they're really high. So I did vote. Postal voted myself. So I will not reveal yet which party I voted for. I have actually said on Twitter before which party I voted for. So if you follow me on Twitter, make sure to follow me on Twitter at PeterSweden7. You will know which party I voted for, but I won't reveal here on YouTube yet. I will reveal after we have the results coming in. I will reveal which party I voted for. So it's probably not the party you think of. Let's say it that way. All right. Yeah, so we have about 3 minutes now until the polls close, and we have the first exit polls. I'm just going to head over on Twitter and on the results page coming and see if we have anything more. Yes, I can just give you the full results, by the way, of the poll that was made today by the channel TV4. As I said before, the Socialist Democrats at 25.4%, the Moderate Party, which is a kind of a right-wing, not really, party, 18.4%, the Swedish Democrats 16.3%, the Communist Party at 9.8%, the Center Party at 9.4%, the Christian Democrats at 6.6%, the Green Party at 5.8%, the Liberals at 5.7%. So again, these numbers don't really mean much because it's just a poll that has been done on election day. It's not an exit poll. It's nothing official. It's just a poll that was released 10 minutes before the real exit polls come out. So I don't really see what the point was of this. But anyway, we will see what happens here now in a couple of minutes' time when we get the first exit polls. Meanwhile, just to prepare you for the results, I can just give you a quick briefing of what the different parties are and what they mean and so on. So the current government in Sweden is the Socialist Democrat Party. They are a socialist party. They have been governing Sweden now, and they usually get 30-40% of the votes, but they have been really going downhill the last few years. And then we have the Moderate Party. They are a so-called right-wing party, but not really. They are not very right-wing at all. They have been very much complicit in these policies with mass migration and so on. Actually, they were the ones that introduced it in the first place. They call themselves right-wing, but they are not. They are a centrist party, very liberal. Then we have the Swedish Democrat Party, which is more right-wing. They're not really right-wing. A lot of their policies is a bit similar to the Socialist Party, but they are against mass migration. They're more commonly known as a populist party, similar to other ones that we've seen in Europe of late. Now, Then we have the communist. Well, they're not called officially Communist Party. I call them the Communist Party because they used to be called a Communist Party. They called it Left Party. They used to be called a Communist Party. They are communist, at heart, more or less. Yeah, they are the main big parties, and we also have the Center Party and the Green Party. But yeah, let's see. Now the clock has just turned 8, so we are expecting the first exit polls coming in any minute now. So bear with us, guys, and let's see what we have. Any minute now, the exit polls are going to come out, and we will have a first estimate of how the elections are going. Let me just tweet a link here on my Twitter as well to this live stream, so we get more people joining. Just bear with me. Just 1 minute, guys. I'm just going to tweet as well at the same time as doing the live stream. All right, so let's see if we have a. Okay, we have some more figures coming in here. According to the Swedish state broadcaster SVT, 41% of all voters say they have changed which party they have voted for since the last election. That is a record since measurements began. 38% of people decided which party they would vote for either today or in the last week. Let's see what more we have. We will have the exit polls any second now coming in. We are expecting it any minute. Let's see if it's. I'm just keeping tabs on exactly when I come in. It's breaking right now. Okay, we have the first exit poll. We have. No, sorry, it's not exit poll. Apologies. It was the other one. It was the other one. Someone did a mistake. One of my sources did a quick mistake, did a small mistake there, but I found it quickly there. So anyway, it's not exit poll out yet. We are waiting it any minute. Let's see. We should have it any minute. And one interesting thing, by the way, the Swedish Democrat Party, they have been boycotting the public SVT, which is the state broadcaster in Sweden. They have their own election coverage. The Swedish Democrat Party are boycotting their election coverage, and they are not participating in it. That's quite funny. They had some dispute. The public broadcaster took distanced themselves from some comment or something that was made by the Swedish Democrat Party, and so on. So yeah, that was I think it was a right decision by the Swedish Democrat Party. SVT, they're very left leaning. We don't have the exit poll yet. We should have it any minute. By the way, I see some of you guys commenting in the chat about my eyes being red. I haven't had a lot of sleep. As some of you guys, well, you might, if you've been following me on Twitter, my dog, my best friend of 10 years, died last week of cancer. So I've had a tough week, and I haven't been sleeping much and so on. So that's why my eyes are a bit red. So apologies for that, but it's been a tough week for me because my dog had died of cancer last week. It was my best friend for 10 years, so that was very, very tough, to say it that way. But anyway, today's a new day, and we will make the best of the situation. And it's a really exciting day for me. I've been waiting for this for the last 2-3 years, really. The American election in 2016 was very exciting, but this being Sweden is probably even more exciting for me. So and it's probably exciting for you guys too, to see what direction Europe and Sweden is taking. Again, we don't have the exit poll yet. Let me see. No, exit polls are not out yet. They should be out any minute, as I said. The polls have closed. They closed 5 minutes ago, so we should have the exit polls coming out any minute.
Ett mandat mer än de rödgröna, men man har inte majoritet. Man kommer att behöva stöd av Sverigedemokraterna.
Okay, we have the exit polls now. The Swedish Democrats are at 19.2%. 19.2. The first exit poll from the Swedish state broadcaster SVT puts the Socialist Democrats at 26.2%. It puts the Swedish Democrats at second place at 19.2. Let me bring up on screen, guys. We have the first exit polls. It is here. So it's not really what I would what I expected, but this is what we have. The Socialist Democrats, the current government, at 26.2%, which is down 4.8% from the last election. The Swedish Democrats at the 19.2%, which is up 6.3% from the last election. The Moderate Party at third place at 17.8%, which is down 5.5% from the last election. Fourth place, we have the Left Party, otherwise known as the Communist Party, at 9%, which is up 3.3% from last election. Then we have at fifth place the Center Party, Mrs. Bilderberg attendee, and she attended Bilderberg this year, by 8.9% of the votes, which is up 2.8% since last election. Then we have the Christian Democrats doing a really good election at 7.4%, which is up 2.8%. This is very impressive for the Christian Democrat Party. And they've been going a more right-wing line of recent. So they are up quite bigly for them, which is very good for them. 5.5% for the Liberals and 4.2% for the Green Party, almost not making it into the parliament. And then we have other parties at 1.8%. So this is the current status of the first exit poll. So there you have it, guys. That is the first exit poll. We will probably be getting a few more exit polls coming out as well soon. We are going to keep tabs on this now. Just excuse me 1 minute. I will just tweet as well. The exit poll. I just need to tweet it out as well. I'm doing this both on Twitter and YouTube at the same time, so we're trying to keep this going here. Just bear with me 1 minute, guys. Socialists 26.2%. The Swedish Democrats at 19.2%. We had the Moderate Party at let me see, at 17.8%. And we have the Communists at 9%. The Center Party at 8.9%. The Center Party really, I don't like them at all. I mean, they are probably one of the parties that I like the least, to be honest, together with the Communist Party. Well, the Communist Party actually has a few good policies, believe it or not. They want Sweden out of the EU, which I agree with. So they're not 100% bad, believe it or not. Almost done here with my tweet. Let me just almost done here. I'll be right back talking about what I think of these results. I just need to tweet them as well. I'll be right back. So, what does this mean? Well, this is quite an interesting result. It's not what I expected for the Swedish Democrats. The polls have been putting the Swedish Democrats a lot higher recently, up at 30%. So this, but this is again, this is an exit poll. It could change. Things could change. Now, what does this? If this result is correct, what does it mean? Well, let me see. What does this? Actually, I think. Let me see. Nope. The left-wing side, the socialists, the Communist Party, and the Green Party, they will not be able to get a majority, and neither will the right-wing side, because there's two. The way this works, I'll show it up on screen right here for you guys. I'll get the screen out. There we go. So the way this works, we have a coalition here of these three parties, which is the left-leaning coalition. They work together, they support each other. We have the Communist Party, the Socialist, and the Green Party. They are not getting enough. They are only getting about 40% of the votes, so they're not getting enough to have a majority government, actually far from it. The other party, the other side, are this group here, which is the so-called they call themselves the Alliance. It consists of the Center Party, Liberals, the Moderate Party, and the Christian Democrats. And as you see, they won't get a majority either. So what does this mean? Well, the way a potential government could work here is I really don't know. They are both the left-wing side, the Communist, Socialist, and Greens. They get about 40%. The right-wing side, the center, the right-wing, probably more right. The correct thing would be to call them centrists. Really, that is what they really are, or left-wing. They're not really right-wing at all, but they call themselves right-wing. They call themselves the Alliance. They get around 40% too. So 40%, 40%, and then we have the Swedish Democrats in the middle with 20%, and no one. All these other guys you see here, none of them wants to work with the Swedish Democrats. So this would leave the Swedish parliament in a very funny or strange situation, to put it that way. I really don't know how this would work out. We might have to have I really don't know. I'm not an expert on these things. So, wow. When it comes to an Alternative for Sweden party, according to this exit poll, they're not doing very well. They're not going to come into parliament. That's for sure, if this exit poll is correct. Let's see here. All right. I have a super chat here from Larget. So from Finland, €5. Thank you so much. It says, my prediction is that Sweden Democrats will be the second largest party. Greetings from Finland. Thank you so much for the super chat. And by the way, if you have any comments or anything you would like to say, read out loud on air. All super chats will be read out loud on air, and they help me keep going as well, because it costs money to do these kind of things, and all super chats go towards helping support this work, and is highly appreciated. So anything is highly appreciated, and as I said, all super chats will be read live on air. And yes, according to exit poll, the Finnish guy in Largetso here with the super chat is correct. The Swedish Democrats, the second largest party. I actually thought myself that the Swedish Democrats would be the biggest party, so I'm a little bit surprised, because a lot of the recent polls had the Swedish Democrats at first place. Now I'm just going to go through some of your, see if we have any good comments here. I have lots of good comments. See if we have any more exit polls coming out. We should be having several exit polls. I'm going to look at them right now for you guys. According to this exit poll, by the way, from SVT, the Socialist Democrats are doing their worst result since 1908. Wow. The Socialists are not going down well today in Sweden. They're down at 25%, which is a catastrophic result for them. Let's see if we have any more election. exit polls coming out. We should, as I said, we should have more exit polls coming out shortly. So let me see if I have anything for you guys. Let's see if we have any more. We should have more, as I said, we should have more exit polls coming out. I'm just trying to see if I can find them. No, this is the only exit poll we have at the moment. Is the one from the Swedish state broadcaster SVT. That's the only exit polls I can see that we have at the moment. But again, the so-called right-wing bloc, the Alliance Party, the Alliance bloc, as I said, is the biggest bloc according to this exit polls, with 39.6%, and the left-wing side, the Socialists, the Communist, Green Party, they are at 39.4%. So it's neck and neck in that exit poll. And the Swedish Democrats at 20%, which is a huge increase for the Swedish Democrats since last party, but it's not nearly enough to win. According to some of the recent polls, this exit poll is actually quite disappointing for the Swedish Democrats. I would have expected the Swedish Democrats to have around 25-30%. Let's see what happens. But keep in mind, though, that the polls last time around in Sweden were very much off for the Swedish Democrats. They very much underestimated their support. So keep that in mind, though. And again, one interesting thing I want to point out there. Remember the first poll that I talked about earlier from TV4. That poll, as I said, that was not an exit poll. That was a poll done. That was a normal poll done today on election day. That poll had the Swedish Democrats at 16.3%, but the exit poll that came out had the Swedish Democrats at 19%. So quite a big difference there. So again, they've been underestimating the result that the Swedish Democrats have been getting here even today. So it's very much nothing is decided yet. Everything is still up for grabs, I would say, and we will be covering everything tonight happening. People here are asking in the chat what happened to Alternative for Sweden party. According to the exit poll, Alternative for Sweden party, they only have them categorized as others, and they are not doing well, to say it that way. Oh, all right. It would have been nice if the Alternative Sweden party got into parliament at least. If they at least got 4%, then they would have got into parliament. And that would be good for the kind of right wing in Sweden at least. But we will see what happens. And by the way, I'm hoping to maybe get some guests on as well later today, maybe from the Alternative Sweden party. We will see if they will be able to get on or not. But I've been trying to get them on. Let me just see. Again, we should have more exit polls coming out, I believe. But yeah, we don't have them out yet. This is only this exit poll and the earlier poll that was made on on election day, which was a normal poll. So that is all we have at the moment. Now let's go through some of the parties and what they stand for. The Socialist Democrat Party, they're the ones that are currently in government, and in my opinion, they haven't been doing that well of a job. They have been, advocating for mass migration, and during the time in government, Sweden has gone very much down the drain, to say it that way. And they're a socialist party, workers' labor socialist party. Yeah, that's what they are, and they have a very dark history as well. They were quite close to the Nazis back in the 40s and 30s. They actually helped them. This is the same party as in government now, and many people don't even know about this. But the Socialist Party back then, they were actually going to arrest the Norwegian king. Norway was occupied by the Nazis, and Sweden was actually going to help the Germans and arrest the Norwegian king on order of the socialist government, the Socialist Democrats. And they also arrested journalists who criticized. They arrested Swedish journalists that criticized Hitler. And this was the Socialist Democrat Party, the same party that's currently in government in Sweden. So they have quite a dark history, and they've also been doing very, very nasty stuff in the past. Then we have the Swedish Democrat Party, which is second in the exit poll, and they are a right wing, kind of right wing. They're a little bit, I would say they're a right wing, but they're a little bit mixed. They have a few socialist policies as well. They have some of the past. They have their roots in some fascist parties, but they have left that behind quite a long time ago and evolved into a different party now. And then we have the Moderate Party, which is third in exit polls today. They have been the traditionally kind of conservative, traditional, your kind of average conservative party, at least before, but of recent years they have rebranded and gone more and more to the left and become centrist, and they were actually the ones that started the mass migration program into Sweden back in around 2010-ish, around that time. And then we have the Left Party. So they actually used to be called the Communist Left Party back in 1990, when they changed the name to just the Left Party. But they actually call themselves the Communists, and they now have 9% in this exit poll. And more or less, they are still a communist party. They just changed the name when it became unfashionable. And they very much worked with the Soviets and were very happy with Russia and the Soviets. But that's quite funny. You never hear a lot of that in the media. You never hear a lot of that in the media at all. With all the talk of Russian election meddling and so on, these guys, the Left Party, the Communist Party, they actually worked a lot with Russia and the Soviets back in the day. But now the media completely ignores it, because a lot of them vote for these parties. A lot of Swedish journalists vote for these parties themselves. So yeah, you don't hear about that. That's just brush under the carpet. So that's that party. Then we also have the Center Party, which, as the name suggests, they are a center party. They have a bit of a questionable history in the past as well. They were quite fond of the Nazis as well. They have a questionable history, to say it that way. But today they're kind of a centrist party. They love mass migration. Actually, they are one of the parties that are most pro mass migration in Sweden of all. And their leader, Annie Lööf, actually attended Bilderberg meeting this summer. We also have the Liberal Party. They're not doing very well. They are at 5%, I believe, in exit poll. They're liberals. Their youth party is actually quite crazy, very crazy. They want to legalize incest and necrophilia and all kinds of really terrible stuff. They want to legalize drugs, and no, thank you. And we also have the Christian Democrat Party, which is a Christian party, but they actually have gone more right wing the last year, I would say, after kind of seeing the polls and how the Swedish Democrats have been doing well and so on. They've actually been turning more and more right wing. They're not very fond of mass migration. They're not very fond of Islamization and so on. So they're kind of more right wing, I would say. And we also have the Green Party, and they are the Green Party, tree huggers. Nothing. I don't have much to add about them, to say it that way. I actually have an interesting picture I want to bring up and show you guys here on screen. Just one moment. Here we go. This is one of the top politicians for the Christian Democrat Party. In fact, you can kind of understand what I mean when I said that they are more right wing. So this is one of the top politicians for the Christian Democrat Party, as I said, and she loves her guns and all of this stuff. She's really kind of kind of a classic. Well, she would probably fit into American politics, I would guess. She was actually arrested in Denmark a couple of weeks ago because she had a self-defense spray. They have these self-defense pepper sprays for women. She actually had one of them on her, and they are illegal in Denmark, but she had one of them on her, and she was actually arrested, or I think she was arrested at the airport. Something happened, at least. She was stopped by police and so on. And thank you so much for the super chat here from Ragnarok Ulfbert. It says, America first, Sweden first. Don't let them take your country from you. Stay strong, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. It helps keep me doing my work. It's really appreciated. Thank you so much. And we have another super chat here from Denmark, I believe, 50 Danish kroners. The Olive. It says, is there a difference between Danish and Swedish right-wing parties? That's an interesting question. I don't know too much about Danish politics. I know quite a bit, and I would probably say that yes, on average, the Danish parties are a lot more right-wing than the Swedish parties, from what I have seen. Again, I don't know that much about Danish politics, but from everything I've seen, the Danish parties, even the left-wing Danish parties, are a lot more right-wing than even some of the so-called right-wing Swedish parties. In Denmark, they have banned the burqa. They are very strongly against mass migration and all of this stuff. And they even have some, I believe they talked about having some, I've done YouTube videos on this. It's on my channel about all of this stuff that Denmark is doing. And in some places in Denmark, at some schools, they are forcing all the kids to eat pork because it's part of Danish culture. I'm not kidding you. Actually forcing all the kids to eat pork. We have an interesting question here. What possible coalitions the Swedish Democrats Party can form? And that's a very good question. And the answer is probably not a lot. Because all other parties have said that they don't want to work with the Swedish Democrats. So it's going to be very hard for them. If the exit polls are correct, my guess is that what we will have in Sweden is a government led by the moderate party with their coalition together with the Center Party, Liberals, Christian Democrats, supported by the Swedish Democrats. So they won't be officially in government, but they have to support them. That would be my guess. There's not a lot of options, if the exit poll is correct, of how this could actually work. Let me see if we might have some new exit polls coming out. Let's see if we have anything. Okay, so we have some interesting here. Former Justice Minister for the Socialist Democrat Party says that he thinks that the Social Democrats should build a government together with some of the so-called right-wing alliance parties, and that could happen. That could happen. That is not out of the picture at all. But again, I think the biggest winner in this election must be the Christian Democrat Party, to be honest. They are up 3%. They have done an incredibly good election. In the polls and so on, it was questionable whether they would even get into parliament, because in Sweden if you have under 4%, you won't get into parliament. You have to get above 4%. And the Christian Democrats are at 7.4, and they were hovering around the 4% mark. So they've done a really good election, the Christian Democrats. I don't believe we have any more election polls coming in. Exit polls. Let me see if we have anything. Let us see if we have any more. I don't believe we have any. Yes, we have some seat projection here. According to the Swedish state-owned media, we have a seat so parliament seats. The alliance bloc, the kind of right-wing bloc, will get 141 seats. The left-wing bloc is going to get about 140 seats, and the Swedish Democrats will get 68 seats. If the exit polls, based on the exit polls, if they are correct, as I said. So this is it's actually not what I expected with the exit poll, as I said. But again, it's an exit poll. Things could change. People might be afraid to answer. Who knows? And that's actually an option. People could be, knowing how some Swedish people think, people could be afraid to say their mind, especially in person at an exit poll like that. So it could be that the exit poll is wrong. We will have to see and wait and see. We will get the full results in about 1.5 to 2.5 hours at between 10 and 11 p.m. Swedish time. We will get the full preliminary results. So the counting is going to be quite quick. Let me see if I can find anything more for you guys here. Let me just tweet quickly. Yes, it doesn't look like we have any more. We don't have any more exit polls as of yet, but again, I will keep you updated, see what happens. Okay, so we have some news here now. The first election district has been counted. I don't know which district this is, but I'll bring it up on screen for you guys. The first district has been counted officially, so and it's actually quite good news, depending on which party you support, of course. So what we have here is the Swedish Democrats won this district by 26%. And again, I don't know which district this is. It's the first district. I'm going to try and find out for you guys. But the first district, the Swedish Democrats have won it by 26%. The Socialists, 22%. Really bad result. Moderates at 20.5%. Christian Democrats at 16.5%. So this would kind of indicate to me that this would be somewhere in the middle of Sweden. I think I know kind of what region this would be. This is kind of a more conservative area. The Christian Democrats are 16.5. This would be around right in the middle of Sweden, between Gothenburg and Stockholm, I would guess, somewhere there, because that's where the Christian Democrats are very big. But I'm going to try and find out for you exactly where this is. We have, let's see, and then we have at then we have the Communist Party 7.9, Center Party 2.4, Liberals at 2.4. So this is a very, I can clearly see this is a very conservative area. And again, the Swedish Democrats won 26%. So that's good news. But again, this is a conservative area. I can very much tell from the ways this Christian Democrats got 16.5%. Again, I'm going to try and find out for you guys exactly where this is. This was taken from a screenshot from a Swedish TV, actually. So I don't know exactly where this is, but I'm going to try and find out. It shouldn't be too hard. Let me see. I'm just going to tweet out as well, so people follow me on Twitter. I have to do both. I'm just one guy. I'm trying to do both Twitter and YouTube at the same time. So bear with me, guys, if I just go quiet for 1 minute. Let's see if we can find out which district this was. Bear with me while I try and find this out. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's the first district. I cannot see which district it is. It's one district out of 6,004 districts. So we have quite a long way to go, guys. It's the first district out of 6,004 districts have been counted. So yeah. And by the way, the Green Party, according to this exit poll at 4.2%, they're actually really close at maybe not getting into parliament at all, which would be really nice, if you ask me. Let's see if I can find out which district this is. Oh, now we have an update. We have 2 districts counted now. 2 out of 6,004 districts have been counted. So let's see what it says. All right. This is interesting. So with 2 districts counted now, I'm going to bring it up on screen for you guys so you can see for yourselves. Just 1 moment. Just bear with me. All right, so we have a 2nd district counted, as I said. Let's bring it up on screen for you guys so you can see. So we have 2 districts out of 6,004 have been counted. So, and again, this is really early. Swedish Democrats 19.2, which is actually exactly the same as the exit poll. But again, this is the first 2 districts only. The moderates are leading 27.2%. Socialists 19.2. Christian Democrats at 13.6. Yeah, this is going to change. it's only 265 votes that have been counted out of possible 7.5 million. So this is extremely early, but this is the chart we are going to have to watch out for tonight. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. So get your popcorn and brew a cup of tea or coffee and settle in, because this is going to be quite a ride. We're going to be following every update as it comes in live. There's a lot to keep. I have a lot of sources here that I'm trying to keep up with all the time. So apologies if I go a little bit quiet sometimes. I'm just trying to find all the latest information. I'm looking at several different sources at the same time to try and get the best results for you guys. And here's the interesting thing. It could very well be that the Green Party will go out, that they won't get into parliament. The reason, I'll show you. I'll just bring you up a photo here, a graph here, so you can see on screen and understand why. So the Green Party at the exit poll has 4.2%, which is down 2.7% from last election. This is the Green Party at 4.2. In Sweden, the way the system works, you have to have, if you have under 4%, you don't get into parliament at all. So basically, all the votes are useless. You have to get more than 4%, otherwise you don't get into parliament. And here is the thing. The thing is that in the last exit poll from the last election, the Green Party, they overestimated their results in the exit poll with 0.3%, and they have 4.2 in this exit poll. So that means if the exit poll overestimates the Green Party with the same amount that they did last time, they won't get into parliament. So it's very touch and go whether they will get into parliament or not. So yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting to follow, to see whether they actually get into parliament or not. That's the one that's going to be to watch. And we have to watch the Swedish Democrats, see how much they get, and we also watch the Christian Democrats, because those are the three main parties I want to watch tonight. The Green Party, they might go out completely. The Swedish Democrats, see how they compare with the exit poll, and the Christian Democrats, because they got a really good exit poll as well. So we're going to have a watch on these parties tonight. Let's see. Oh, my chart disappeared. Let me see if I can find it again for you guys. Okay. Right now it's just a lot of not really very important stuff. It's just a lot of partying, and they're just going through what kind of foods they're eating at the election coverage at different parties and so on. It's nothing very much interesting going on at the moment. They're just showing the menu. Just for fun's sake, I'll just show you the menu. I don't think it's very fun, but you guys might find it interesting. While we wait for election results, there's not that much we can do. So there are, here we go. So some journalists on the scene from the center party's election coverage in Sweden. Here is the menu. for tonight's party. They are having, the center party is having I don't know what that, apples and kål. I don't know what that vegetable is in English. I'm going to have to use translate. Follow this, guys. Cabbage. It's cabbage. They are having apples and cabbage from Stockholm. Autumn apples from Stockholm. Cabbage and blue cheese. Chestnuts. Baked celery. Pig from the city of Tillberga. Lamb. Rosemary. Beets from Gotland. Swedish goat cheese. Conserved tomatoes, if that's the English word for it. I'm not sure if I said it correctly. Salmon from the city of Vånö. Egg from Gotland. Beurre blanc, whatever that is. Fried... what is this? This menu. Oh, man. Fried mandel potatoes from the north of Sweden. Salads from the whole of Sweden, served together with sesame nuts and pear dressing. Oh, this menu sounds interesting. That's the center party's party night. Here's a picture from the moderate party. Here is their party night. They have lots of good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. That menu sounded confusing if you ask me. Oh boy. Let's read some of your chats. We have a super chat here from Sean from Canada, $20. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It says, keep up the amazing work. You opened many people's eyes and done what most people would never have the courage to. Thank you so much for the kind comment. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I never really expected it to turn out this way. I was just a normal, average guy. I saw things in the world that I didn't like, and I wanted to make a change. And here I am. So thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see if we have any more good comments here. Yes, and remember to hit the like button on this stream, guys. Can we have this live stream hit the top of YouTube? Can we get this on trending? What do you think, guys? Make sure to hit the like button on this live stream so we get as many likes as possible, because then we have a big chance of getting this live stream trending on YouTube. Perhaps we can have it trending in Sweden. That would be fantastic. So make sure to smash that like button so we get this video trending. And if you don't follow me already, make sure to subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, and also turn on the notifications. Hit the notification bell, because the way the YouTube algorithms works nowadays is mysterious. Even if you subscribe to someone, you don't usually get notifications. You have to press the bell button. So make sure to press the bell button. Even if you're subscribed, double check if you have pressed the bell button, because then you get notifications whenever new videos come out. Because again, the way the YouTube algorithms works nowadays is a mystery. Let's see if we have an update. I don't think we have any more exit polls coming out. Let's have a look. Okay, we have 5 districts counted now. All right, let's get this up on screen for you guys. We have 5 districts counted. Let me see if we can find a chart so it's easier for you to see. I'm trying to find a chart. Oh, we have loads of charts here now. All right. Okay, here we go. We have the first charts, and we have, I'm just going to bring it up on screen and read you the results. We have 5 districts counted, and here's what they say. So with 5 out of possible 6,004 districts counted, we currently have the socialists leading with 26.6%. And we have the moderates at second place with 22.7%. We have the Swedish Democrats at third place, 13.6%. Then we have the Communist Party, left party, the Communist Party, 9.5%. No, hang on. We have the Christian Democrats in between at 11.8%, and then the Communist left party. And then we have Liberals at 6.4%, Center Party at 5.7%, and then we have the Green Party at only 3%. They are currently under the 4% needed to get into parliament. And then we have other parties at 0.8%. Oh, this is going to be a long night. This is going to be a long night, guys. Oh, we are going to keep tabs on this. I'm just going to tweet quickly as well, because my guys on Twitter are following as well. So we just need to get that information out there. So just bear with me 1 minute while I tweet as well. I'm doing everything at the same time. So I'll be just back in 1 minute, guys. So the Center Party at 5.7. It looks like the Center, by the way, the Center Party, they looks to be doing a kind of an average election. But again, the Christian Democrats, they are doing a very good election according to the exit polls. I'll just tweet this, and then we will get back to covering. All right. There we go. We got some more pictures of some fun menus as well. Let's see if we have anything appetizing to tempt us with while we wait for more results coming in. We have the Socialist Democrats. Ooh, the Socialist Democrats, they are selling hot dogs with sauerkraut, beet crisps, mustard, and ketchup. Or you have a choice of falafel in what? Falafel in bread with fermented chili sauce and sour onions. Doesn't sound very good. Anyway, here is a chart showing how people have migrated, how people who voted last election, how they've been voting this election. So we have the moderate party voters. 54% of people who voted moderate party last year are voting moderate party this election. 14% have moved to the Swedish Democrats. 10% moved to the Center Party. 9% to Christian Democrats. 6% to Liberals. 5% to Socialists. 1% to the Communists. 1% to the Greens. For the Socialist Party, 66% are still voting Socialist. 11% moved to the Swedish Democrats, 6% moved to the Communist Party, 5% moved to the Moderates, 3% moved to the Center Party, 3% to the Christian Democrats, 2% to the Liberals, and 2% to the Greens. There you have it. That's how people voted, well, from different parties last election compared to this election. Now let me just go through some more of your chat, guys. We have a super chat here from the Olive, again from Denmark. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. He writes, if you get a left-wing party again, we might have to invade Sweden and initiate Kalmar Union Part 2. Kalmar Unionen. I don't if you're English listeners, if you don't know what that is basically it was a union between Denmark and Sweden, and I think Norway was in this as well, and Denmark was ruling Sweden. I don't know. The Danes are very fond of their Kalmar Union, and I don't think many Swedish people are though. We have another guy from Denmark, Morten Henriksen, in the super chat. There's a great channel, best wish from Denmark. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We also have a super chat from Hans Peter. Says, thanks for your coverage. Soon the time of the leftist traitors in Europe will be over. Greetings from a Russian in Germany. Thank you so much for your super chat there, Hans. And again, all super chats will be read live on air if you have anything. It's really appreciated and helps me keep going. And again, smash that like button so we can get this live stream trending. We have 1,500 viewers, which is actually a record for my live streams. So thank you so much, guys, for making this happen. And we will keep you updated on everything happening as it comes in. I have hundreds of tabs open here on my computer with all the latest sources to give you everything as soon as it comes. And again, I'm just trying to do two things at the same time. I have to tweet as well to get the news out to my Twitter followers. I have 113,000 followers on Twitter, so I have to tweet as well. We have some more information about the exit poll, by the way. It's quite interesting. The people who here's a list of people who voted for the Swedish Democrat, like a right-wing kind of populist party. 24% men, 26% trade union members, 25% unemployed, 33% who wants to receive less migrants, 25% have right-wing ideology, 34% have a low trust in politicians. That's quite telling. Of the electorate of the Swedish Democrat Party. Let's see if we have anything more here. We have a lot more coming in now. Let's see here. Let me just refresh here. I believe we have a lot more parties that have a lot more districts have been counted now. Dun, 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 dun. We have a problem. By the way, we have a problem with some of my sources here. The official election website in Sweden is actually down. They have problems. Their site is down, so we don't have the source directly from them. So we have to go through some other sources. We have the count in real time, but we don't have the election website is down. So it's a little bit trouble for me trying to find exactly what the result is in at the moment. Just give me a minute, and I will update you guys. The Swedish Democrats think that they will pass 20%. They think that the exit polls are wrong and that they will get more than 20%. The Swedish Democrats hope that the moderate party will grow up and start working and talking with the Swedish Democrats. I'm just trying to find the latest count. It's a little difficult because the election website is down. The election website is down, so it's a little bit difficult to find the latest vote count. I am working hard to try and bring it up, guys. Bear with me. Maybe it's just for Sweden. I see other people have been able to get onto their website. So it looks like, yes, the latest here we have. So we have, I don't know exactly how many districts have been counted now, but it seems to be over 70 districts that have been counted now. And the Swedish Democrats are currently in second place at 21.4%. The Socialist is leading at 25.4%. Moderates way down at third at 16.8%. Center Party at 12.1%. This is looking interesting. Just bear with me while I bring up just one moment. Okay, here we go. All right. 75 districts have been counted. 75 districts have been counted. I'll bring it up on screen. We have the latest in here. 75 districts have been counted out of a possible 6,004. The Socialists are currently leading 25.4%. Swedish Democrats at 21.4%. Moderates at 16.8%. Center Party at 12.1%. But then we have the Christian Democrats 7.7%. Then we have the Left Party Communist at 7%. Liberals at 4.1%, and the Greens at 3.9%, and they need 4% to get over the what's it called in English? The limit to get into Parliament. And currently, let's see how many votes. Yeah, so that is the current standing as of right now. So this is heating up, guys. We are getting more and more districts counted, and this is going to be very interesting indeed. As I said, the Swedish Democrats themselves, they think that they will get more than 20% of the votes, and I am probably going to agree with them. They're probably going to get more than 20%. I had initially guessed they would get more before, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yeah, it seems like they will definitely become the second largest party. That I can say that much for sure. They will become the second largest party. I don't think they will become the biggest party, but they will definitely become the second largest party. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Just give me one moment, and I will. I'm just going to tweet out a graph here as well. As I said, I'm doing two things at the same time, both tweeting and following on YouTube. I got so much going on. It's hard to keep up, but I'm trying my best. Just one moment. So again, with 75 districts counted, Socialist at 25.4, which again is a historic low. This, if the exit poll is correct, the Socialist Democrats are doing their worst election since 1908, from what I am seeing. So we will be keeping tabs on all of this and give you all of the latest here as it comes in. I'm just going to tweet as well. So just bear with me 1 minute. It's strange that the election website is actually down. You would expect that they would be able to keep up, but apparently not. All right. So I don't think we're getting any more exit polls, by the way. I think that was the only one that we got. See if we got any updates on the counting. Yes, it's coming in quickly now. We're up at 92 districts counted. The social, yeah, it's not really much point in making too much out of it at the moment. It's still very early on. It's just 92 districts counted out of possible 6,000 districts. So again, here's the standing right now. At 92 districts counted out of possible 6,000. You have the Socialists at 26.6, the Swedish Democrats at 21.5, and then we have the Moderates 16.3. I'm going to guess though that this is probably the position, well, at least for the three major parties, this is probably probably the Socialists are going to win. That's my guess. Followed by the Swedish Democrats at second, followed by the moderates at third. That is my guess, but again, it's probably going to look different. It will look different, the exact number of percentage votes that they are getting. But yeah, in about 1 or 2 hours time, we will get the preliminary results. So up until then, we are going to be following the live counting here on this channel of the Swedish elections, this historic election. We'll be following everything happening through the night and talk about what's happening. Hopefully I might get some guests on as well. I'm not sure. I'll see what I can do. But yes, that is a standing as of current. And it's a bit, I don't know why the socialists are still winning. But again, this is a catastrophic low result for the socialists. In case I'm just going to bring up some old results for the socialists, so you can kind of get an idea how bad this actually is. Let's go back to, say, the year 2000. That was when the socialists were doing quite well. The year 2002. The year 2002, the Socialist Party in Sweden, they got a whopping 39.9% of the votes. A party getting 40% of the votes, the Socialists, back in the year 2002. And then at second place, we had the Moderate Party at 15.2%. And then we had the Liberals at 13.3%, the Christian Democrats at 9%, the Left Party at 8%, the Communists, the Center Party at 6%. So yeah, that kind of gives an idea how bad this election is for the Socialists. So back in 2002, the Socialists had a 40% of the votes, and that's basically what they've had throughout, I mean, really a long time in Sweden. If you go back even further, let's say 80s, say 1982. The Socialist Democrats in Sweden, with Olof Palme, you might recognize that guy, they got a whopping 45% of the votes in 1982. So that's kind of where the Socialists have been hovering the last 40, 50 years in Sweden. 40 years, say 40, 50 years. They've been hovering around the 40, 45, maybe 50%. That's where the Socialists have been all the time. But this election, they're down at 25% in the exit poll, which is a catastrophic low for them, the worst since 1908. And I'm not sure exactly which year did I actually go. Which year did I form? It was around that time that it did form, I believe. Let me see when they formed. They formed 1889. The Socialist Democrat Party in Sweden. They formed in the year 1889, and this is the worst result since 1908. It's like you have to go back 100 years for them to have done such a terrible job. Wow. It really seems people are not happy with how things are going, to say it that way. It really is a condemning result indeed. Let's see if I have anything more coming up here. We're getting more and more districts being counted all the time. Let me see what the latest is for you guys. Oh yeah, now they're really coming in quickly here. We have 180 districts counted, and the socialists are actually increasing in this latest count. As you can see on screen, up at 28% now. Swedish Democrats 21, moderates at 16. Then Greens are really lagging behind at 3%. You know what I'm predicting? I'm predicting that the Greens are going to get less than 4% of the vote. I predict they're not going to get into the parliament, which is going to be terrible for them. If that is the case, if the Greens don't get into parliament, the kind of right-wing bloc that you see here with the moderate center, liberals, Christian Democrats, they're going to be easily the biggest coalition, but they're still not going to get a majority. They're going to get a minority government, which means they would have to get support of the Swedish Democrats up at 21. But the problem is no one of these parties want to work with the Swedish Democrats right here. That is the problem. That is the problem they have. It could be a messy parliament. I'm hearing reports that at the Swedish Democrat election coverage, the Swedish Democrats are shouting, out with the Greens after the first districts have been counted. That's funny. In the district where the Swedish Democrats were the biggest party last election, they are now, which is the Ljusnarsbergs council, municipality. The Swedish Democrats are now up at 41%, and that is the district where the Swedish Democrats were the biggest party in the last election. And I'm seeing that the election count is actually going slower than we expected. Experts are saying that the election results is going to take longer than expected for whatever reason. Yes, and again, the Swedish Democrats, they believe themselves that they're going to get more than 20% of the votes. And again, I would say it appears, from what we are seeing from the early count, it appears that the Swedish Democrats have again been underestimated in the exit polls. So they might get more than what the exit polls are saying, which is very interesting. Just going to do a quick tweet again. I'm trying to juggle between tweeting and doing the live stream. I have to do both at the same time because I have so many followers on Twitter as well. If you don't follow me on Twitter, by the way, make sure to do so. I'm at PeterSweden7 on Twitter. Yes. Yes. If you don't follow me on Twitter, make sure you do so as well. Twitter is it's actually where I have the most followers. I have 113,000 followers on Twitter, and I tweet regularly about news from Sweden. Make sure to follow me on Twitter as well, at PeterSweden7 if you don't do so. I have all the kinds of news and information from Sweden happening on Twitter. Much more on YouTube. I kind of do more specialized reports on special issues. On Twitter, I report all kinds of things happening much more broadly, shall we say, than on YouTube. So make sure to follow me on Twitter as well to get all the latest. And let's go through some of your chat here now, guys. Just going to bring it up here on screen. See, I missed a super chat here from FF Ion for £5 earlier. Thank you so much. There was no comment there, but thank you so much for a super chat, Ion. And super chat from Laurie Allan Turney, €1. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we also have a super chat from Gia Pacella, $8. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It really helps me keep going. There was no comment there though, but thank you so much for the super chat anyway. Morten Henriksen from Denmark says, great channel, best wishes from Denmark. Thank you so much for super chat. And we have Waffle guy from Denmark says, gör Sverige lagom igen, which means make Sweden I can't translate the word lagom. There is no translation for the word lagom in English, so I cannot translate it. Sorry, guys. But lagom, oh, what's that mean? Average is probably my best translation. Make Sweden average again. It sounds stupid, but in Swedish it sounds good. That's the best translation I can think of. Make Sweden average again. Thank you so much for super chat, by the way, Waffle. Crypto and markets. Super chat from Denmark says, keep up the great work, Peter. Thanks for the do never stop fighting. Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you so much for nice comments. Really appreciate it. And again, if you have any comments, all super chats will be read out loud live on air, and it helps keep this show going. And I have a live stream. I have a plan to start doing more live stream shows as well. So you can expect more live streams in the future as well from me. So thank you so much, guys. And let's get back into the vote counting. And I'm just going to see some more of your chats as well. We got tons of comments here in the chat. Just going to go through some, see if we have any good. Well, we have lots of good comments. See if I have anything that sticks out here in particular. I have a good question here from Tom. He asks how to get a coalition if this result is staying. Oh, that is a good question. Probably the alliance bloc, the kind of right-wing bloc, will be given a chance to form a coalition, I guess. The question is if they want to work with the Swedish Democrats or not. And currently they've said no. Jordan asks that he's seen the Swedish Democrats on 16%, and if that is true, and no, that is not true. Well, it was a poll that came out. It was not an exit poll. It was just a normal poll that was done on election day that gave them 16%, but that does not seem to be correct. And we have a super chat here from Morten Henriksen from Denmark. Thank you so much. He asks a quick question. What do you think the fallout of the election can be if the Swedish Democrats becomes second largest? It looks very clear that the Swedish Democrats will be the second largest. I can almost guarantee it right now. The Swedish Democrats will become second largest. Socialists will win. Moderates will be third. And how will it look? What will the fallout be? And this is the really big problem that we're facing with the election. It's really hard to say what can happen here. It's all up in there, depending on how much the other parties get, which block becomes the biggest, the left-leaning block or the kind of center-right-leaning block. How much will they get? According to the exit polls, according to the exit polls, they get about the same, about 40% each. And with the Swedish Democrats, the outlier at 20% just by its own. And the question is, how can this be made into a coalition? Well, we could potentially see. I'm thinking that the kind of center-right bloc will perhaps get a little majority amongst them. Not a majority to govern, but a little more than the left-leaning blocs. If that is the case, they need to work with the Swedish Democrats to govern. They need their help. No question about it. If the left-leaning bloc gets more votes than the right-leaning bloc, they could perhaps try and get some parties from the center-right-leaning bloc over to their side and then get the majority. That's something that they have suggested. I don't think that is likely to happen. Perhaps the center party would agree to that, but it will still not be enough. And let me bring up a chart here, see if we can show you exactly why that is. Here we go. So I don't know if you can see on the screen here, but the image is quite small. But the way it is, so this is the exit poll that was made. We had the left party here, socialists, the Greens. They have about 40% to get. That's one block right there. That's one block. They have about 40%, or 39.4, I believe it is, in the exit poll. Then we have another block, which is the center party, the Liberal Party. Actually, let me do this. Let me take a screenshot. Let me take a screenshot and I can paint on it so you guys can see instead. Okay, so here we go. Let me see, just one moment. This should be easier. Okay, so here we go. So here is the exit poll. Here's the exit poll. Okay. So the way this works. So we have the left-leaning bloc here. The communists left, the socialists, the Greens. That is the left. Oh, my paint is terrible. Then we have the right-leaning bloc, which is these guys right here. So the left bloc in the exit poll, they have 39. Oh, I'm terrible at drawing. 39.4% in the exit poll. The right wing, they have 39.6, I believe it is, in the exit poll. Oh, my drawing is terrible. Apologies, guys. So how can this work out? Now we have the Swedish Democrats here, of course, on their own over here at around 20%. None of these guys want to work with the Swedish Democrats. None of them want to work with them. So how could this work out? Well, the question here is, will the Greens, will they get into parliament? Because there's a 4%, if you get under 4%, you won't be able to get into parliament. And it's very touch and go. It's right now in the count, they are actually not coming into parliament. But let's assume they get into parliament, that the exit poll is correct. And let's assume that all the exit polls are correct. And how could an outcome here happen? Well, the left bloc could try and get these center guys here over to their side. It could happen, unlikely, but could happen, because this right-leaning bloc is quite closely knit together. They don't want to split up really that easily. But let's say they manage to get the center party over. They still won't be able to have a majority. They're still under the majority. So they could potentially get the liberals over as well, and then they could form a majority together. That could happen. These parties are quite left-leaning. They wouldn't have much problem working with the socialists and the communists and these guys. So that could happen. We could get a grand coalition with all these parties here, perhaps. Unlikely, but that is an option that could potentially happen. Unlikely though. But let's look at the other side, the right-wing side here. The moderates, say if he became prime minister, this guy here, with 17.8%, but they only have 40%. They couldn't form a majority. They would need to get help of the Swedish Democrats. They would need to get help of them. These other guys here, the communists, the Greens, there's no chance on earth that these guys would join these guys and help them out. It is not going to happen. So either we could be looking at a government with a coalition, assuming the exit poll is correct, a coalition of these guys here, liberal, center, Greens, socialist, communists, or we could look at a coalition of these guys, the Swedish Democrats and the kind of center-right. But again, these guys have said they refuse to work with the Swedish Democrats. They refuse to work with them because they are far-right, fascist, blah, 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 blah. So these guys, all of them refuse to work with Swedish Democrats. None of them want to work with them. So it's quite a stalemate. It's a very difficult situation. Very difficult indeed. The Swedish Democrats could potentially support these guys. The Swedish Democrats could support either one, and then they could form a government, even if they're not officially in the government, but they could decide to just support either one. That is probably the most likely outcome. That is what they have done in the past. The Swedish Democrats have decided to support either one. That is probably the most likely outcome, that they will decide to support either one. The Swedish Democrats had the power to decide who they want to support, the center-right or the left. That's basically how this works. Complicated, but I hope I managed to explain that thoroughly for you guys in an understandable manner. I'm just going to go back to your chat here now. All right. Let me just bring up the chat again here. Sorry, apologies. I lost the chat there for a little while. I'll just bring it back right up so I can see your comments, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, and as one commenter here says, there could be another election potentially. And thank you so much, by the way, for the super chat here from Kevin Mullally. Greetings from Ireland. Enjoying the stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. I hope you all guys enjoyed the stream. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to smash that like button. Maybe we can get this live stream up trending on YouTube. That would make my day. Smash that like button and make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit notification bell to get notifications whenever I post new videos, because I post a lot of videos as well, not just live streams. So make sure to subscribe. And we also have another super chat here from Cristela Picciano. I hope I pronounced it correctly, from America, $2. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Helps keep me going, and it is highly appreciated. All super chats will be read live on air. Thank you so much, guys. And we will see if we have. Let's go back to the election count, see what it's up at. Okay, so now we have quite a lot of districts counted, and it's actually looking it's not looking too good for the well, it's not bad, but it's let's see. So let me just refresh Do we get the latest chart up for you guys? I'll just bring it up on. Okay, now the districts are really pouring in here. It's really coming in quickly now. So now we're getting a lot of results coming in quickly. It's now heating up. So 767 districts are counted out of possible 6,000. Socialist up at 28.7%. We have the Swedish Democrats at 19.3, which is very close to the exit poll, actually. Moderates at 17.4. Center at 9.5. The left communist at 8.2. Christian Democrats at 6.5. Liberals at 4.7. Greens at 4.1. Oh, it's close. That's the one to watch. This is the one to watch, guys, ladies and gentlemen. The Greens. Will they get over or under 4%? If they get over 4%, they get into parliament. If they get under 4%, they don't get into parliament, and it's going to be a very tough time for this left coalition to have any chance. If the Greens don't get in at all, you can basically kiss goodnight to a left socialist bloc. It's going to be over for them. That's the one to watch, guys. That's the one to watch. Yeah, so it's all coming in now. It's this historic night, and all the elections are coming. By the way, I don't know if you saw the news, but there was actually an explosion slash bomb attack in Sweden early this morning down in the south. It wasn't very much on the news. It just happens so much now. Let's see here. Let me bring back on screen for you guys the latest results coming in. I'll just keep it open for you. Okay, we're still at 767 results, so it hasn't changed anything yet.